Hello and welcome to LIT Chats. My name is Anne McBride and I'm part of the Schools Liaison team in LIT. So today we will be chatting all things medical technology, and I'm delighted to be joined by my colleague from the Department of Applied Science, Mairead Dennehy, who's going to tell us all about our courses in this area. Medical technology is offered at level 8 and at level 7 through the CAO at LIT, and the course is based at our Moylish campus in Limerick. So hello, Mairead, how are you today?
Hi, Anne, I'm great, thank you. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. And thanks so much for joining us today to chat about all things medtech.
Oh, my pleasure.
So we know that the medical technology sector, it's a very vibrant and growing sector. It employs over 20,000 people. So it has really created a demand for people with specialist skills in the area of medical technology. And our graduates have the skills to fit into that industry. So could you tell us maybe a little bit more about the course and maybe the type of student that might be suited to medical technology at LIT?
Absolutely, Anne. Well, medical technology is a science course and is in the applied science department in LIT. And by applied science, that means that you're learning science subjects that are applied to a specialised area. So, for example, in other courses in the applied science department, it's applied to drug medicinal products or forensics and pharmaceuticals or biology and biotechnology. But in the case of medical technology, you primarily learn science subjects applied to medical technology. And what makes medical technology course unique or slightly different to other science courses is that because you're dealing with the medical technology, as well as learning science subjects like chemistry, biology, physics, and maths, that you also learn in first year analog and digital electronics, fundamentals of computing. And because you're dealing with the healthcare sector, you also learn about developing the professional practitioner and areas involved in dealing with medical technology in particular. And I always say the medical technology course has two kind of graduate areas. One would be in clinical hospital departments in clinical engineering, let's say. And we have graduates who are employed in the clinical engineering department of University Hospital Limerick. And there's also employment opportunities in the medical device sector. And like you said, it really is a vibrant, growing sector. Ireland punches above its weight in terms of influence in the global market of medical technology. And that is due to the quality of graduates in Ireland in general. And that's what keeping companies here. And that's is why this course is adding to that pool of graduates available. And in a very specific way, in that instead of it being a general, kind of engineering or science focus towards medical technology, we're looking at the devices themselves. And when I talk about medical technology devices, it's everything from ECG, ventilators, hospital surgical equipment and all the technology behind that. But it's also things like prosthetic hips, which Ireland has a huge sector in terms of manufacturing. So when you think about the science subjects that you learn in first year, you need to have that foundation so that you can put it into the context then further on. And I love really some of the second year subjects I teach. The students often have these aha and penny drop moments, and they realize that's why I had to do that in physics in first year, because I need to know that for biomechanics, or that's why I had to learn about analog electronics so I could understand the signal chain in an ECG. So I would say that the type of student who will enjoy medical technology is someone who is interested in science. Having a science subject is not a prerequisite. It's not a requirement to go into first year, but it's something that would be useful. But even if you don't have a science subject, you need to have an interest in learning about how things work, why things work, the interoperability between things, and really be curious as to how this knowledge can be applied to medical technology in the broader sense, and also in very specific sense. And there's some great skills that are dotted throughout the program in general. Those skills being maths, computing, programming, quality, obviously anything to do with medical technology, be it in the hospital environment or the manufacturing industry environment is highly quality focused, and there are quality tools that are learned throughout the course, and also specific standards and regulations that you meet in industry. So that kind of is the in a nutshell.
Super. And I'm glad that you mentioned that about the, having the science subjects, because it's probably a question we get asked an awful lot when we meet students. I like the sound of the course, like that they have an inquiring mind, interested in problem solving, but maybe haven't got science subjects. So there is, if a student comes in without them, and maybe they find that they're maybe struggling a small bit, there's support there as well, which is something that's important to mention, because LIT has a very supportive environment. So there would be a little bit of extra help available if a student needed that as well.
Absolutely.
So just to highlight that.
Yeah, and I find because the class sizes are small, we know our students individually, and it's very collaborative. And the term active learning is used towards how we teach in LIT, and it is really something that is fostered and embraced, because it benefits. There's nothing more that a lecturer wants than to see students learning. And science subjects, a lot of people think, oh, they're difficult, they're hard, but you are taught what you need to know. And that's why I'm kind of emphasizing that it's applied science, because you're taught what you need to know, that's applied to the area of interest, and in this case it's medical technology. And there are supports and excellent learning support service that can be utilized by students. And there's great, because the class sizes are small, I do find that peer help and peer support is so evident in classes, and that's a lovely thing to see and to be nurtured.
Yeah, it is a lovely aspect to our programs in LIT that, we do focus on small class sizes. So there is that supportive environment. Lecturers and students are on first name terms. So you really feel like you're part of a community. You're more than just a number when you come to LIT. And that's something that students say when they come in the door. There's that homely feel, that they really feel that they're part of something. And Mairead, you're sitting there this morning and you're in the fabulous surroundings of one of our state-of-the-art science laboratories. And obviously, medical technology is a very practical, very hands-on course, as is the approach we take to all of our courses in LIT. So could you talk us through a little bit about the practical side of medical technology? Is there much lab work in the course? I know students get to take a work placement during the programme as well. So could you tell us maybe a little bit more about that?
Yeah, well, in first year and second year, and because it's the traditional science subjects, there's a lot of kind of science labs, so some chemistry, some physics labs, and very, very hands-on. Then we have this medtech lab that I'm in today, and in that we have examples of different types of medical technology that you'd find in hospitals. And we can't fully kind of simulate a hospital environment, but we do what we can. And I think because technology changes very much, we use a lot of simulation. So there's great tools now involved in simulation, and that's why dotted out through the course there's different types of software packages that students get used to. So things like AutoCAD for drawing, things like LT Spice for simulating electronics. So in first year you would actually do physical electronics labs, and in the second year you do it in the simulated environment. And then as the years go on, it becomes more kind of designed and inquiry and simulated focused and research focused. And again, as medical technology is such a changing field, it's important that the student really embraces, how do you keep on top of all that new information? How do you research? How do you kind of assimilate good information and see where it is changing? So we foster that through in the final year project in particular. But prior to that, in third year, there is work placement. And our work placement students have been in the University Hospital in Limerick, and also in different medical device industry locally. And it's something that is growing at the moment, because the medical technology course is relatively new. We have just had four, I think it's the third, fourth year graduates coming out now soon. And because of that, the course is being the knowledge of the course is growing within industry in the area, and we are getting some really good context in terms of placement. And students who don't go on placement do a case project directed by lecturers, and that has been so successful in the last 2 years, even in COVID times, that we've had some really applicable and interesting projects that the students have really enjoyed. And in a lot of cases then, that they would pick a certain area that they want to develop then in final year. So the lab aspect of it becomes less traditional science labs as the year goes on. And again, that's just to keep on top of the ever-changing aspects of medical technology, and as well as learning the fundamentals, it's future-proofing about what advances that students are going to see in their careers ahead.
So it really is, students are in an industry that's really cutting edge. As you say, it's changing constantly. So as students then move through third year and fourth year and they're getting prepared to graduate and go out and look for jobs, what sort of opportunities would be available to students? We know that students that come into us this September will be graduating from Ireland's next technological university, which is really exciting and something we're very excited about. So what sort of opportunities will be available to the medical technology graduates at the end of their course?
Well, there's such a focus on technical knowledge and kind of that separation of the clinical professionals from the technical professionals, and that is growing. And I worked in radiotherapy for 10 years, and when I was filling out my CAO form, some of the courses and the jobs, they didn't exist. So medical technology is something that's changing. So even the graduates, their career, some of the positions that they will have in their career currently don't exist, and that's the rate that it is growing. But the importance of that technical knowledge is becoming more and more to the fore, and that was seen throughout the COVID crisis. Everything from the use of ventilators and availability of ventilators to even procurement of PPE, and also during the cyber attack at the moment, that connection between all these systems are connected now, and the vulnerability in a hospital of that. And in fact, we have a fourth year subject specifically on cybersecurity in healthcare. And that's just the hospital side of things, and also the industry side of things. There's loads, from design, development, manufacturing, sustaining, procurement, quality, all those areas, and they're all areas that can be gone into as a graduate and then expanded through postgraduate opportunities.
Yes, so it sounds like a really exciting area, I think, for students to consider. And as you say, the industry is changing so rapidly, but you're going to have an opportunity to be part of that and to be part of the people that are, or to be the people that are making those changes and those contributions to the world of science as well, which is something that's really exciting as well. Right, you've given us a really fantastic insight into medical technology and what it's all about. So I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit now as we prepare to finish up. And obviously students are preparing now to finalise their CAO choices, thinking about the months ahead and what they really want to study. Is there any particular advice that you would offer to a student, maybe that's thinking about medical technology? Any particular words of wisdom that you would like to share?
Well, that is putting me on the spot. Well, I would say that it's a very interesting course, and I think if you are interested in science and the application of science, and particularly to healthcare and the broad range of applications that has, this is certainly the course for you. And it's a level 8 course, so it's a 4 years of study with a level 8 degree. But there's also the opportunity to graduate after 3 years with a level 7 course. And I would say that it's a course that will be a great foundation. Like a science degree is an excellent foundation for any career. And this is a science degree is what you come out with from this course. And I would say it's a great foundation for a very interesting and applicable career ahead.
Good stuff. Well, I think that sounds like pretty good advice for anybody. And as you said, Ireland is a real hub in the medical technology sector, so there are so many opportunities for students to consider as well. I suppose one just little thing to mention as we finish up as well, Mairead, regarding the level 8 course, that students are mindful that on the printed CAO handbook, the course is titled Clinical Technology, LC 263. But it is actually medical technology when they apply online to the CAO, that the course went through just a name change during the year as well. So just a little thing for students to be mindful of, that they're aware of the LC 263, while it's titled on the printed CAO handbook as clinical technology, the course that you'll be coming into in September is medical technology. So just something for students to be aware of as well. So I'm going to wrap it up there for today, Mairead. Thank you so much for joining us this morning and chatting all things medical technology. Thanks to everybody for joining us for the latest in our LIT chat series. If you have any questions about medical technology or any of our other courses, be sure to check out our website, lit.ie/CAO. Or if you have any questions at all, you can message us through any of our social media platforms or pop us an email at schools@lit.ie and we'll be delighted to help you out. So thanks for watching and we'll talk to you again soon.